What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap, and we have even more information bubbling to the surface in regards to Ohtani versus Ippei, and this time it actually involves baseball. Bobby Witt Jr., he is looking like a top one player. Honestly, he might be the best player in baseball to start this 2024 season. The Orioles, they called up Jackson Holliday, but they have another top prospect stealing the show, and the Mets, yeah, they were not too nice to their old buddy, Luis Guillorme. All of that and more in today's MLB recap. We make these every single day, so if you want to stay up to date on the game of baseball, join the team. Let's grow the game of baseball. Hit that subscribe button. And just a reminder, if you're going to any baseball games or concerts anytime soon, save yourself 20 bucks off on SeatGeek using code Fuzzy. And if you're into fantasy sports, be sure to use code Fuzzy when you download Underdog Fantasy. They have the Masters going on right now, baseball every single day, same with basketball and any sport that you can think of. So we have another update on Ippei versus Ohtani, and what's crazy about this next update is the fact that if this would have been the first story ever revealed about Ippei stealing from Ohtani, I don't think that anyone would have come out with conspiracy theories that Shohei was betting on baseball or trying to have Ippei be the fall guy. We just found out that not only did Ippei use that account to gamble, he also used it to buy baseball cards. He spent over $320,000 on baseball cards the last few years. So again, if that would have been the first story leaked by ESPN as opposed to the gambling story, I'm almost 100% positive that everyone would have led with, wow, Ippei is a crook and he's stealing from his friend, as opposed to all of the pie-in-the-sky conspiracy theories that Ohtani was somehow getting bailed out by the federal government, that Manfred was paying a federal judge under the table to save his sweet prince of a superstar baseball player who isn't even from here. Yeah, that's probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and if you still believe that, hopefully this baseball card piece of the puzzle actually completes it in your brain and you actually know that Ohtani is innocent. One more random non-highlight story. Scott Boras, he was the agent for Jordan Montgomery this past offseason and the last few years. No more. Montgomery has essentially fired Scott Boras because we all expected Monty to get a fat payday after being one of the best pitchers we've seen in quite some time down the stretch to win the World Series last year. Then he gets a one-year deal with the team that he beat, the Diamondbacks. Montgomery is leaving Boras Corp to go to the Wasserman Group. I think that's what they're called. They got Yamamoto $375 million. A few years before that, they got Stanton $325 million. Maybe he's thinking that Scott Boras overplayed his hand, or maybe it's as simple as the owners do not like Scott Boras, so Jordan's worried it's going to happen again. Now, I'm going to try my best to show as many highlights as I can for this Braves and Mets game, but there's like 850 of them for this first game, so bear with me. Beatty, he singled in one. Brandon Nimmo, he's been red hot lately. He doubled the lead on a double just outside the reach of Michael Harris. The Mets were gifted another run. Arcia, he booted it with 2 outs, and the avalanche of scoring kind of started after that. Francisco Alvarez smoked an RBI extra base hit. Jeff McNeil, he did the same. And New York, they just started spraying base knocks all over the place. DJ Stewart, stay hot, kid. His second home run this week. He was absolutely out of his mind to end 2023, and now the power's going. He does not hit cheapies. They go very far. It's 7-0 after that 2-run cannonball. Now, the Braves did score a few, but this was one of those anything you can do, I can do, but better games. McNeil, he's never cared about lefty-lefty matchups. He pulls an outside slider for 2 more RBIs. The Mets have run it up to 10 on the day. Nimmo, he ripped a meaty fastball to the gap. He cruised to third base, and then he cruised to home on a wild pitch. I'm hoping that Tyler Matzik is okay because the velo was down, and maybe it's just him working up that arm strength because he missed a lot of time last year. I think maybe all of last year. I can't remember. Look at this matchup. Luis Guillorme, he used to play for the Mets. Now he's on the Braves. He hasn't played a single inning for the Braves, so this is his team debut, and he's facing his former team, and he gives up a grand slam. That's Tyrone Taylor's first home run of the year. No one's going to remember that at the end of the season when he's got like 11 home runs and the first one was a grand slam off of Luis Guillorme. No one's going to remember that. They're just going to see the home run. Boost your stats. Do it. So the Mets score 2 touchdowns and complete 2 two-point conversions. They win by 12, and the Royals, they won by 10? Against the Astros? You're about to witness one of the worst starts in professional baseball history. Bobby Witt Jr., he hit a laser beam up the middle for a single, and he ends up at second base after a bad throw to third. Vinny Pasquantino, the Sasquatch, the Italian nightmare, he cannot get out lately. He's broken out in a big way. That's 7 RBIs in his last 2 games. Nelson Velasquez, he's been raking all year and even dating back to last year in the second half. He's huge, by the way. Like, his arms are for real tree trunks. They're massive. That's an RBI and the 5th hit of the inning, and it's not about to get any better for Astros starter Hunter Brown. Nick Lofton, he bounced one through the infield, and it was hit soft enough to kind of roll through and 2 score. Michael Garcia, he kept the 2-run singles going. Every single RBI in this inning has been on a single, and yes, I am setting up a non-single RBI. Bobby Witt Jr., this kid is a megastar, like a genuine 5-tool phenom. He went the other way, and it's not easy to do that in Kauffman. The Royals had 11 hits hits in one frame. That's the third time they've ever done that in their franchise's history. Back to Bobby Witt Jr., he's not done yet. The baseball gods, they tried to stop him. They sent another human hurling towards him, and he still made the play. I've never seen that before in my life. Skipping to the sixth, Bobby, he singled again. He then decided to rub it in the Astros' faces. He steals second, then gets the third base on the throw and scores on another Vinny Pasquantino base knock. He's got 6 hits and 8 RBIs over his last 2 games. Talking about Vinny. Bobby, he went yard again, this time off Brian Abreu on a fastball at his shoulders. Over his last 70 games, Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting .325 with 18 home runs, 24 stolen bases, a .990 OPS. He's got great defense. He's got elite speed. He might be the fastest person in baseball. He just became the 14th player ever to have 4 base hits, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 4 runs scored, and 1 stolen base in one single game. He was all over the place. So this next game is the evil twin of the games that we just saw, like the exact complete opposite. John Gray and JP Sears, they were pitching as if losing would mean they were going to be exiled from society. Seth Brown, he says, John Gray, I banish you. I don't know what I'm saying, but that's his first of the year. Seth Brown had 20 in 2021, 25 home runs in 2022. I need a bounce back power season from Seth Brown. John Gray did not let that bother him at all. He struck out 9 Oakland A's hitters over 5. He only allowed 3 base hits. The only problem is the other guy did not allow a hit through 6 innings. JP Sears, he turned in his best start by far of his young career. Adolis, he ruined another no-hitter. A few days ago, he ruined Ronell's second chance at a no-hitter. And JP, he's out after 6 1/3 shutout with 5 strikeouts. His best start by far. Austin Adams comes in for relief. He's nasty. He gets Jared Walsh to pop up, and that ball was not called an infield fly, so Zach Gelof, I don't know if he dropped it on purpose. He purposely deflected it, but that's going to be a free double play because there was no infield fly, but maybe they thought there was going to be one, so they stayed put. That's it. That's the end of the inning. So it's still 1-0 A's, and now we get to watch one of the most electric arms in all of baseball. Mason Miller, he got it up to 103.7 in this outing. He strikes out the first 2 guys that he faces, and I mean, he looked unfair. 101, 103, 102. Then he gets Langford to pop up, and out of nowhere, the A's, they've won 4 of their last 6 games. They're now tied with the Mariners. Now, unfortunately, after praising the A's, we have to talk some ish about the A's because they are straight up screwing Esteury Ruiz right now. So Ruiz, we know that he was sent down after an amazing end of 2023 and a hot start to 2024. So again, sent down after being really, really good. He goes down to AAA, and he's an automatic superstar. He has a home run and 6 stolen bases in like 6 games. Brent Rooker, he goes on the IL, so you're thinking, okay, time to call up Ruiz. No, they call up Max Schumann, who has never played in MLB before. He's hitting 174, and you might be asking, why did they do that? Well, it turns out if they hold down Ruiz until tomorrow, the A's will gain an extra year of control. And then after all of this kind of came to light, Esteury, he went yard again. So in my humble opinion, I feel like the A's are not doing this for the benefit of Esteury. I feel like they're doing this for the benefit of the A's. They want to steal an extra year from Ruiz. Pittsburgh and Philly look like it would be a repeat of the A's and the Rangers because Ranger Suarez and Jared Jones, they were sick. Harper, he grounded into a double play. O'Neal Cruz, he said, I got this. I'm going to do it all by myself. And look at Harper at first base. He could win a Gold Glove. No joke. It's going to be him, Christian Walker, Jake Cronenworth competing for it, probably Matt Olson as well. Alec Boehm, he went yard. That's the Phillies' first non-single over the last 20 at-bats. At least in terms of base hits, they had 19 consecutive singles before that home run. Check out Ranger Suarez. He went 6 shutout. He racked up 8 strikeouts. He has a 3.1 ERA since 2021, and do not forget, he has a 1.6 ERA in the playoffs. Jared Jones was really good as well, the youngster for the Pirates. Just that lone home run to Alec Boehm. He struck out 7 over the first 6, just really nasty stuff. Now, the Pirates, they were trying to save some bullets in their pen, and they sent out the rookie for the 7th. JT, he got on, and Marsh, he got some payback. He had struck out in his first 2 at-bats. Is that one going to leave? It does. That one bounced off the railing behind the wall, so obviously that is a home run. He has 4 home runs on the season. He has a 126 OPS plus as a Philly, and that swing right there from Stott got to excite Phillies fans. My friend Bryson Stott turned a 96 fastball in, and he ripped it for a long 2-run blast. Boom, he slides to make the final out. Philly is now 7-6, and the Pirates, they're still looking good, but they are losing a little bit of steam. The first run of this Orioles and Red Sox game is going to come off the bat of Masataka Yoshida. That's a grounder, but look at Jackson Holiday kind of showing off the leather. The infield was in, he kind of had to pick it. and then this happened. He seems like he struggles on fly balls behind him, or he's just brand new and he has to learn kind of the pecking order of who's going to call off who on shallow fly balls behind him. Jackson, he's getting overshadowed by another top prospect, Colton Cowser. He went the other way again, this time for his first big league home run. Now we got to show off the pitching. Grayson and Garrett, they were both pretty solid. Whitlock, he was great. 5 innings, 4 strikeouts, just 1 run. Grayson notched 5 strikeouts over 5 2/3, but he leaves with a 2-1 deficit. Baltimore, they got blessed though in the 8th inning. David Hamilton just straight up did not tag second base, so Jackson, he's safe at second. And oh no, Anthony Santander swung so hard that his elbow guard fell off. The ball got just inside pesky pole, so that is one of the shortest home runs you can possibly hit in Major League Baseball. That was just a sequence of events from hell for the Red Sox. Connor Wong, though, he ties it up. That ball went way over the monster. So we need extras to solve this one, and there goes another. The ball was flying in the later innings. Gunnar now has 3 home runs on the season. He's got 31 home runs over his last 162 games. And on top of that, he's still playing great defense, probably Gold Glove level defense. Cedric Mullins, he knocked in a big insurance run, and it's now a 3-0 count to the red-hot Colton Cowser. They're probably going to work around him and walk. Oh my. Colton Cowser is a one-man wrecking crew, 440 feet on that 3-run nuke. They gave him the green light. He's hitting 460 on the year, and he has 10 RBIs over his last 3 games. He's also top 9% at not chasing bad pitches, which is huge for a guy like him. Baltimore, they win 9-4, and now they're 8-4. Before we show the web gems, I want to do a quick update, the first stats update of the year. So we have Will Smith leading everyone with a .412 batting average. Stephen Kwan, he's right behind at .386, and look at Ryan McMahon, Volpe, and Steer raking as well. In terms of wins, we have Glasnow, Cody Bradford, Luke Weaver. Is he a starter or out the pen? I don't know how that works. And Shelby Miller, he's definitely out the pen. They're all leading with 3, with Merrill Kelly at 2. Home runs, we have Mike Trout, Tyler O'Neill leading everyone with 6, and then we have Yelich, Ozuna, Betts, and a few other guys at 5. ERA, a bunch of them at 0. Look at Tyler Anderson not being a bum this year. Teoscar Hernandez, Jake Berger, Spencer Steer. Spencer Steer absolutely rakes. They all have 15 home runs with Lourdes and Marcell Ozuna right behind them. Clay Holmes, he's leading the pack with 5 saves, with Finnegan, who's been terrible, but he's got a lot of save opportunities because the Nationals, they score a lot, but they also give up a lot of runs. You have Halsey, Phillips, and Clase all at 4. Quan, he's leading everyone hits, even ahead of Will Smith. I did not know that. And there's Ohtani, Altuve, and Mookie, a lot of Dodgers. Sticking with Dodgers, Glasnow, he's for some reason still in a Rays cap, but he is leading everyone with 29 strikeouts. The rookie for the Pirates, Jared Jones, he's been a strikeout machine. Stolen bases, Bryce Terang is looking like Ricky Henderson. He's got 7 already. Quality starts. You have Wheeler. A lot of guys at 3. So let's take a look at the standings. The Yankees are 10-3. They are 1.5 games ahead of the Orioles. Then you have the Rays, the Red Sox tied at 7-6, and the Jays, they're trying to fight back. The Guardians, they're 9-3. They're taking on the Yankees, so that's going to be an interesting series. They're a half game ahead of the Royals and the Tigers. They started off undefeated. They're kind of slipping lately. The Rangers, they're at 7-6, which the AL West is a little bit shaky right now with the Astros at 4-10. The Braves, they're looking pretty good. They're 1 game ahead of the Phillies, who are surging as of late. The Brewers, they're 8-3, which is tied for 9-4. The Dodgers are 10-5. They're 3 games ahead of every other team. But that does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all the love. Enjoy the web gems.
On 13 hits. 2-2. This might find the gap in left center. No, it won't, because
Steinmetz working from the stretch. The first pitch, now it's sent into left field. And diving to make the play is Drew